Hello, and welcome back to Pwnery's Kicking It Old School, episode 43, season 3. And I think I found my mistake. We forgot to talk to somebody in the bar. We need to go back to Den Camp on the Teeth. Which means technically, I should probably loot all the bodies. Yeah. Oh, look at this. I didn't even get to this dude. What? Okay, 14, and you get 14, 14. You have 12. Okay, so we're gonna be one off. It has two uses. Yeah, let's use it. Okay. You hang on to these. Wait, did he have anything else left on him? Yeah, he did. Okay. Just make sure everyone else got looted out. Spoiled. Alright. How are we doing on inventory space? Pretty full. Okay. So this is the part where we get to do a bit of back and forth, back and forth. Nothing to say to him yet. No, shop. Sell off the crap. Make up some of the money we keep blowing. Okay, let's sleep it off. And make our way back to Den Camp on the Teeth. We're not there yet. No way. That's where all these bodies are. One guy does the work. Everyone has ability increased. Cool. 3 uses left on this one. I mean, you should totally use up the local resources first. cool. Okay, so the guy we need to talk to is in the inn. Here it is. The man invited him to talk. Quiet, amiable fellow who was missing 3 of his fingers on his left hand. He smiled as James and Locklear told him some of the stories about their childhood together in Krondor. When at last they began a story about the minstrel Laurie, who had become the Duke of Salador, the man nodded but interrupted them when they claimed that he was the best minstrel they ever lived. I imagine this Duke of yours was quite talented, the man said, but a short while ago a jongleur played here, the match of which I've never heard. Immediately Locklear and James exchanged a meaningful look, then looked back at the man. What did this minstrel look like? James asked. Young, attractive, rather tall as I recall, the man said. Have you ever seen him before? James nodded. If it's who I'm thinking, then yes. Do you happen to know what became of him? Not certain, but he was asking for a place to put down for the night. One of the other patrons that was in here told him that a Franklin nearby sometimes leaves his barn open for travelers. He might have gone there. Making a mental note of all that the man had said, James began to rise from the table when the man tugged at his sleeve. Another thing. The man told him that the door to the barn sticks quite a bit, and that he may not be able to get the door open. It takes quite a strong man to get it to work sometimes. I'll keep that in mind, James says. Have a good day. So we'll sleep it off. Then what we're going to need to do is loot more bodies, clearly. It's always what you have to do, is always loot more bodies. You see? Now we don't have room to loot more bodies. Oh no. What do we do? What we do is we go to the shop. We go here, and we buy something called Fatimore's formula, which is right there. Which is quite expensive. Here, you hold this, because you're my better haggler anyway. Come on. There we go. Barely gave us a deal. Okay. Now we go over to this barn here. We get James to drink one of these. Let me do this. James pushes the door of the barn, but it refused to budge. Despite the fact that there were no locks visible, the wooden door remained securely closed despite the group's repeated attempts to push it open. Finally, after a great deal of struggling, innumerable grunted curses, and with a giant whining screech, the rusted hinges released. James motioned the figure across the room. The man walked over to join them. He stood before them, shifting nervously. I didn't think anyone would, come after you? Pah! Should have known it. You come a-prancing into Northward with that little twanging box of yours, and you sing a blues streak about honor and glory, but when it comes down to it, you ain't got the picture. Instead, you got this yellow streak. You never stand and your eyeball your problems face to face. You let other folks run you around. One day someone's gonna run your life right off a cliff. I'm the one telling me to leave Northwarden. Me. That's Tammany the Minstrel's decision, not someone else's. I'm making the decision to live. The Moradell done run you off, and they ain't even got here yet. They done a better job on you than any duke or baron you crossed swords with before. I'd not be in a castle with a coward like you anyway. It isn't fair. I'm a minstrel. What good would I be? I don't know how to use a sword. I don't know how to heal wounds or direct a battle. I'd just be in the way. What good would I be? I'm just one insignificant man. Not so insignificant, Tamni. Before I went to serve in Krondor, my father used to advise me, when you have earned your title, make sure your minstrel is well paid. I hadn't a clue what that meant until I saw the battles at Armengar, and High Castle, and Sthethenon, and others since. When men sit and listen to songs about great battles, they remember men like themselves who faced terrible dangers and emerged alive, and that gives them hope. Sometimes that's the only thing that an army needs. But why did they have to all depend on me? Why did fate arrange it that I was the minstrel who happened to be at Northwarden? We aren't going to force you to go, Tamni. It's your life, your decision. If you choose to leave, then that's your business. Could I request a favor of you before I make a final decision? If you'll set your feet back on the road to Northwarden. There's this cave not too far from here, and it's known as the Diviner's Halls. Within it there are several small stones called pattern stones by geomancers, which can foretell a man's future. If you can return with one, I will make my decision. Geomancy. Should have figured you'd go in for that Hazam-Pazam. Not just another way for something else to make your hard decisions for you. Quiet, Patris. We'll see what we can do. Now, if I recall, this cave... Oof. Should be northeast of here. Should be. There it is. Okay. Now before I go in there, I need to unload again, don't I? So we know where this cave is. Back to Northwarden, unload, and then straight to the cave. It's the same dialogue every time if you're wondering why I keep skipping that. He doesn't care about anything until we get results. Now, if I didn't do the hacks with all those diamonds earlier, this would have been a necessity for our operating costs. Don't really need these anymore. Then again, it does make you stronger, so it probably makes my attacks hit a lot harder. Maybe not a bad thing. I can always go back and sell it back to that shop, minus the one that we used. That's fine too. Sleep it off. Wait a minute. There, now we're bounced out. To the caves! No, turn this way. Turn. Of course they'd put a trap in front of the caves. Why wouldn't they? Okay, if we go south, we get hit by the red ones. If you go north, You hit by the green ones. So what we do is we pause that, and then we have Patras push this. Now the green ones are dead. Now James should be able to just go straight through. Easy. Yes. Okay, you have a Ring of Prandor, but I have torches I gotta get rid of. You have 10, you have 25. Why do we have so many god dang torches? Alright, so we're looking for Geomancer stones in this cave. Nothing here. We do have a rope, right? Yeah. Okay, we're good. Guess we're gonna fight first. Yeah, first strike. He's poisoned. Of course he's poisoned. Freaking prick. Unfreaking real. Patras was on fire. Right? Yep. You bastard. Great. Of course. The one time it mattered. Went straight for the magic user, didn't he? There we go. Apparently, those healing herbs don't mean anything when you're in combat. Kind of weak, if you think about it. Okay. Let's check him out. We don't have... We gotta use a spell first. There we go. Neck, but no head. Arms, but no hands. Waist, but no legs. Torso? Jacket? Nope. Jacket? Never doubt your first instincts. The hell is this? Wyvern's egg. I used to call it wyvern. Then I heard someone say wyvern. And I was like, who the hell am I to question that? Money? Stuff? Oh look, he's got just enough room to hold that. What the hell is this? Campfire. Spoiled. Oh wait, there was something else on him, wasn't there? Spoiled. A carpenter left some wood. Would not take it back. I saw some dust there where he left it, but couldn't find his stack. Sawdust? Easy. Now we're good on rope. Hey, there's our stones. Should we go see what the rest of this place has? I mean, we got options, right? Might be something good. Like a fight, for instance. No, I think what we ought to do is let this idiot heal. We got the herbs, we got the rations. Okay, I should be able to camp, or heal till camp now or whatever. That's good. Okay. That dog. Yes, they're dogs. They look like boxers. Oh, he gets to go first. Nice. Let's get the bad dog. Look at that. No poison. Finally. space to carry all this crap. Yep. Now we're gonna have to prioritize stuff and things. Yep. Actually, you know what? What I could do, what I probably will do, we'll prioritize the weapons. Because I can carry two weapons for every... Yeah. There we go. Alright, so we're full of things, so we might as well go ahead and leave. Okay, so it should be obvious what I'm about to do next. Must be daytime. If you're that Duke, you must be kind of annoyed by the fact that we keep making all these little side trips past him and not actually giving him updates. Like, I thought you guys were on this. Like, we are? Sorta? Go get that damn minstrel. What the hell? Did I really run him that ragged? That doesn't make sense. It's okay. Promise. This time will be the last time. We're gonna get this stupid fat-bodied minstrel out of here. Rat meow. He will come with us. I'm not gonna have any lip. Oh, can't go that way. Like, we were really stuck in there. Alright, you fat bastard, you're coming out right now. I will walk back myself after. I've studied the rock. Tell Baron Gabbett I will be there soon. I think he'll be rather more relieved than you might imagine. And why is that? Before I was off from the castle, I had it in mind I wasn't to leave until I had at least made some provisions that I could survive. Even assuming I slipped out of the castle without any notice, there was still the issue of how I would pay my way until I reached a safe haven. So, after a bit of investigation, I found the treasury. It was being guarded by a fellow by the name of Corby, a fellow whose tryst with a certain girl by the name of Thea I have had the vicarious pleasure of orchestrating over the past several months. Once I had convinced him that she was awaiting him, it was a simple matter of slipping inside and grabbing up a pouch. Not as if the Baron's missed a few golden sovereigns. I think he's involved with other things at the moment. Exactly as I was thinking. But it seems that what I picked up in the dark was worth rather more than a few dozen sovereigns, several hundreds more. Once I realized what I had done, I became terrified of going back. I could see why, but when the Baron told us to come and get you, he made no mention of missing money. It is entirely possible that no one has noticed the missing funds as of yet. You can take them back to him. I can't. Even if I return them, the Baron will be aware that Corby left his post open for me to plunder. Though I can't say I behaved much like a friend to him, I don't wish to betray him twice with the same crime. Actually, I have something of an admission to make. He is the reason why I asked you to retrieve the geomancy stones for me. They aren't worth much, even to a gems dealer, but they can be used to make an attractive stone for a wedding band. For Corby, of course. So you've been considering returning all this time, but you wanted to wait until you could cover all possibilities. All but one. I was wondering if you would take the pouch of diamonds and hold on to it until after the battle is over. This way no one gets hurt, and we can all do what we need to do. Tell him you took them off a dead nighthawk or something. When you go back to the castle, it's a possibility they will search you since your behavior has been a little odd. I will take the diamonds, but I'll worry about how I will tell him later. My only concern is that you return immediately. We have other things we need to be doing for Duke Martin. Done. I'll see you all back at the castle. Don't be too happy about this, Tammy. You and I have a big score to settle on later. Don't get yourself killed getting back there. We did that in the dark. 14, 14, 2, and 14, 8. Interesting. Oops. That's as close as it's gonna get. Look at all these diamonds! You do realize what I'm gonna do with these diamonds, don't you? That's right. Mo money! Mo money! Now nobody knows what happened to them. No clue. No clue. Alright, back to the Duke. I'm sure there were a couple other bodies over here I could loot and pick up crap and all that good stuff, but I'm fatigued of looting and fixing crap, and no. We're just gonna go talk to the Duke. Here we go. Goblins. I'm beginning to get wistful for the days when we were running the billets in Krondor for Master DeLacy. I haven't had this much exercise in a long time. So, where are these goblins you told us about? What about Tamney? Did you find him? Yes, though it took a little extra work to get him heading back to Northward, and he promised dutifully he will return, and I believe he will. We had a long talk. I can see now why Arutha values you so much. I personally wouldn't have believed it possible, but as things stand, we have a long road to hoe, as they say. The Goblin Company of Archers has already moved into the pass and is trying to entrench itself there. If they get a foothold, they may be impossible to root out once the Moradel roll in. We need to find out what their deployment is going to be when the battle begins. Okay, so we can grab their leader and give him the hot poker treatment in the dungeon under Northward. Tell us where to find him and he's yours. No good. As soon as they discover he's missing, they'll change their tactics. No, what I need is the big plan, and I'd be willing to bet that it's still in Raglan. How many scouts has the Baron lent you? I have about 20 men out at the moment. Why? Then you won't miss the three of us much. We're going to Raglan, and we'll find a way to get that plan for you. You plan to march through a company of goblin archers to the city where the Mordell are amassing, walk right up to the leader of the enemy and say, "Excuse me, may I just borrow your war plans, please?" As I recall, I snuck the future Duke of Cryde, Prince and Princess, and the Admiral of the Western Fleet out of Krondor while it was under siege of Jocko Radburn and Guy du Bastira. I think I could snatch a silly piece of paper. I think if the Prince of Rutha didn't want to make you the Duke of Krondor someday, he would probably have you killed as a madman. Alright then, get me that paper, but be careful. I'll be waiting for you. So, the nice thing about goblins is that their greed is more powerful than their loyalty. So I believe what the proper thing to do here is to bribe them. Because we have to go here. We will have to... Well, we already made all those preparations, didn't we? We sold the diamonds and everything. Just have to make sure our rations are good, which they appear to be fine. And the other thing I'd like to do is we're going to head back up to Northward, and I need to drop off some arrows. I'm holding way too much crap on me. So I can go here. And we'll just drop off a couple of stacks of arrows. I don't need this many. Guess that's the best we can do. Fan. Get a night's rest. Save often. Let's go talk to some goblins. A band of goblins milled the way. James stared hard at the leader of the goblin band, but faced him. At his side, Locklear counted the heads, silently calculating the combined worth of the mercenary force. "What do you think, Lockie?" James muttered. "Whatever Delacon's game is, he's paying for it." Locklear replied grimly. "Goblin mercenaries charge small fortunes for their services, and by my guess, there's at least 1,000 sovereigns worth of them here. I don't think they'll attack us unless we think we're getting too close. We might be able to negotiate a passage price." "Pah!" Patras spat. "Dark brothers are dark brothers. They're just mean-spirited, period." Stepping out of the ranks of the enemy, a tall, pale, complected goblin drew his sword and pointed it at James. Speaking the kingdom tongue with some difficulty, he glared at them with black eyes. "You speak price of passage," he said. "Dear Gun here speaking of you, and tell to Gullah. Gullah consider and say price of passing is being thousands of 2 sovereigns." "Thousands of 2, James repeated. "You mean 2,000 sovereigns?" Gullah nodded. "If you pay, we shall let you pass. If you come closer and not pay, we will kill you. You give us thousands of 2? "Yes." James produced the required amount. Throwing it at the feet of the goblin, he waited for it to be collected by the scrambling mercenaries. "You promise passage," James says. "Yes," the goblin replied. "We not fight, nor shall any of our company you meet. Tell them you paid your way at Gullah's command. We will fight for your baron." As the goblin leader moved away, Locklear chuckled as he whispered in James' ear, "Imagine the look on Baron Gabbett's face when that lot marches up to Northward and announces they're fighting on his side. He'll have a fit." James smiled. "Too bad we won't be there to see it." "They're our boys now." Yeah, I just bought a mercenary force of goblins. And look at all these dead Moradel here. Spoiled. Yeah. Spoiled. Poisoned. Ooh, that's even worse. Goblins halted them. Gullis said we could pass, James said, shouting to the waiting band. You have a new contract with us. Bewildered, the goblin hordes argued amongst themselves, the leader at last shouting for silence. You pass, he shouted back. If Gullis say, we obey. You will not be harmed. Very cool. The wind howled. Eyeing the gap, which was the mouth of North Warden Pass, James turned to Locklear and clapped him on the back. So, how about a little fun, old friend? You know, I've lost friends every time I've gone into the Northlands, Locklear replied coldly. Bronwyn, Captain Moyet. James nodded. Sounds to me like you've got something to pay them back for, then. What do you say we go stir up some trouble with Delacon's troops in the Northlands? Hell yeah! They marched in silence. Fearing that the sound of their kingdom's speech would carry in the cold, they moved as quickly as possible through the treacherous North Warden Pass, each steeling himself for the difficulties that lay ahead as they surveyed the snow-covered landscape. We are back in the Northlands. But now we have 2 soldiers. We're badasses. Curiosity overcame him. Peeling back the thick hide which covered the frame, James chanced to look inside. Hello? Do I have adventuring? I do not. But that's okay. Nice. There's so much goodies here. Okay. Is that somebody right there? It's a giant. We're gonna fight some giants. Yes, just stay there and throw stones. Perfect. That was a necessity. Go get him, Lockie. Very good. Ooh, they do carry things. I didn't think the giants carried things. This works out great. Oh, that was the end of my hammer. Okay, we got another one. It's okay. Got all these rations. Seven, 8. Good. Let's see. There's one more here somewhere. Yeah. Okay, so it's gonna be 221, right? Yep. So 2, 2, 1. Now we should be balanced out. And we push onward. So I got the 1, 2. Oh shoot, there's 3 there. And there's another one there. Oh my god. I need a town to sell all this crap. Holy crap. Look at all this stuff. Where are we? Okay, Ragnum's right there. Save often. Of course. Sweet, we're poisoned. He just killed his own magic user over there. Oh, James is down! No! Oh my god, you better be able to kill these guys. Yes. Okay. That was close. That was close. Let's see. I think the easiest way to fix this would be hacks. Because we got poisoned and killed. Oops. Alright, what's all this? What good stuff are we leaving behind? Let's see. It's got 1 use. And we used it. These guys are all paid off. I kind of want those arrows. I don't have a way to poison them though. if I recall, that's what we're looking for right there. So much good stuff. Okay, we walked into a trap. What do I need? I need James to chill. I need Lockie to chill. I need Patras to push this forward. James to chill. Lockie to push this. You chill. You chill. You push this. You chill. You chill. You push this. Chill, chill, and you go through here. Haha. Slightly easier trap. Look at this giant catapult. Locklear gaped in wonderment at the heavy wooden catapult. They walked around the weapon and studied it from every angle, spending extra time looking at the firing and triggering mechanisms. On the whole, it appeared to be in good condition, though one of the torsion gears had broken. Moradel must have built this toad-towing toy to annoy the Baron. They'd never get it up the pass before old Grump Bucket shot him down. Perhaps, but it's of no use to them now unless someone fixed it in order to lob stones at Raglan. Now that's peculiar now that you mention it. Tell me, Lockie, if you were just going to leave something like this lying around in a field, even if you didn't have it working, would you leave it pointed at your home? What are you getting at? The only reason this thing won't function is because one of the torsion gears is broken. Not something all that complicated to fix. Now suppose the gear didn't break of its own accord. Gorath told me that many of the Moradel clans had reservations about fighting under the old battle colors of Myrmendamus. Now if you were one of those clans, and watched a backup plan in case you wanted to back out of the strike, it'd be simply a matter of installing a replacement gear and pulling the release lever. It even has a payload in the basket. Of course, assuming we could find the part ourselves, we could stir up some trouble. Maybe find a way to get to the plans Duke Martin needs in the confusion. Yes. Perhaps. But we'll need to find a replacement catapult part first. I doubt there's going to be one just lying around here somewhere, but let's check around. They searched the area for an hour, hoping it would discover a replacement part for the broken gear. When it didn't materialize, they packed up their packs and prepared to leave. So, that's the town of Raglan there. I don't think we're allowed to just go into town. An old Moradel answered their call. Despite the unusual group he found before them, he allowed them into his tent. He spoke to them in the kingdom tongue. Were things you wear taken by combat, or do they represent true loyalties? Locklear spoke quickly. We are from the kingdom, but we bow down only before only two powers, gold and silver. The Moradel was either satisfied with his answer, or he was too tired to care. He motioned for them to sit down. After a short conversation, they found out that he had come to Raglan to die, too old to travel with the rest of his clan, and not willing to stay alone in Raglan. He had resolved to wander off into the forest and let his life slip away like the wind in the trees. Though he hated the Moradel race, the conversation made Patras sort of sad. He was glad when they left. Well, apparently we can do business. Oh, baby. If I remember right, the Bessie Mauler is the strongest crossbow in the game. I don't know. We're going to buy a couple of them because I want to have some for Gorath and them too. And here I thought I would need elven crossbows. Ooh, poisoned elven quarrels. Okay, so we're gonna restack up everything. I don't want any of this crap anymore. What else does he have? Does he sell rations? He does not. Come on now, work with me a little bit. What a stickler. Come on, bro. You make me a deal, I'll buy like 3 of them. Yeah. Trying to think if there's any other characters I play that could use these. I think the answer is no. Yeah, because I have Pug, who's a magician, Patras, magician, Owen, magician, but then I have Gorath, Locklear, and James. So I think I only need 3 crossbows. Now we just gotta load up on poisoned arrows. This seems like an expensive trip, but it was worth it. Okay, is this a heavy crossbow or light? It required a level for the heavy draw, so chances are... Yep. Ooh, he's full. I've got a pretty good idea where I'm going to stash this later. How are we on... Oh, we're good on rations. Alright. Okay, let's look at our stats. Okay, 33. Ooh, it raises crossbow skills. I think I'm gonna let him read the whole book. Okay, now I need a place to buy rations. But this was a great shop. Save game. Yeah, I know we need rest. We also need an inn. So you really think we can just walk in without attracting unwanted attention? It's a trick I learned many years ago. Everyone will gravitate towards the simplest solution to any dilemma, he whispered, reaching for the door. Patras wasn't convinced. This is highly irregular. Look at it this way, James continued. We either have a legitimate reason to be here, or we are completely insane walking into the middle of enemy territory. That doesn't make a lick of sense, so everyone inside will assume what the first is true. Now try to act like you belong here. First thing we're going to try to do is make money. He didn't do it that great. But he did it enough to make 40 sovereigns. You only sell rations by the day. You suck. Fine. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna have to buy up all the rations and read up that book before we move on to the next part of this series. So I think what we'll do is, since we're out of time for the day, we will say that this was Pwnery's Kicking It Old School, episode 43. And if you like what you saw, hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Hit the subscribe button. If you're a regular here, welcome back. Either way, check out my other playlists and see if my other interests may be of interest to you. We're going to find that catapult gear. We're going to destroy part of this town, I think, in the next episode. So stand by and wait for that. But I'm going to go ahead and do the legwork of feeding and reading that book and getting all that crap out of the way between episodes. So until then, we'll see you later.